What is up, guys? Today we will be comparing the iPhone 13 to the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 here. So we got a fairly new flagship to a sort of older flagship here, but the Note 10 does offer a lot that you might want to consider over getting the new 13. So let's go ahead and get started with the price. The 13 is going to cost you around 829 bucks. Galaxy Note 10 is actually going for around 400 bucks, if not just slightly cheaper. So big price difference there. And let's go ahead and go over the design of both of these phones. Two premium designs here, both IP68 dust and water resistant. If we go ahead and look, Note 10 is slightly taller. The iPhone is definitely thicker. You guys can see that button layout there. And no buttons on the right side of the Note 10. You can see down below. And you'll see something that we actually have our stylus on the Note 10, which we will talk about a little bit more here, but we do have that for people who are really into digital artwork or just want to navigate with a stylus. Both phones also have stereo speakers, which we will compare. Alright guys, so let's go ahead and talk about both displays here. So we do have the Super Retina XDR OLED display on the iPhone 13. We also have HDR10 and Dolby Vision. It's a 6.1 inch 1080p plus display, 460 for the PPI. On the Note 10, we do have the Super AMOLED display, or the Dynamic AMOLED display, excuse me. And then we have HDR10 plus at 6.3 inches. So you can see the Note 10 is slightly taller, slightly bigger display than the 13, and it's also a 1080p plus display, 401 for the PPI. So you can see a massive difference here when we talk about screen design. As you can see, the Note 10 has a more bezel-less kind of look to it with a slight curve. With the display, the iPhone is completely flat. With a bigger notch, you do have a smaller punch hole on the Note 10, and actually the screens actually do look a little bit different color wise, because you have a more vibrant looking color on the Note 10, which I personally prefer. Now a lot of people like the more color accurate sort of display where the colors they look kind of duller, but if you put this up against anybody, I think majority of people like the Samsung sort of like oversaturated kind of color, and I really like it too. It makes everything pop and it makes everything look really just lifelike. So that's one thing that I really like there. But overall, I think the Note 10 still has an excellent display. I definitely like this more bezel-less display. It just feels a little bit more premium to me. Alright, so let's talk about these specs a little bit more here. So we're running iOS 15 on the 13, and then we have the Apple A15 chip, no SD card support, 128 gigs of internal storage, and 4 gigs of RAM. On the Note 10, we're running Android 11 with the Snapdragon 855, Adreno 640, no SD card support, 256 gigs of internal storage, and 8 gigs of RAM. So you do have much more storage on the Note 10, but both phones do not have any expandable storage though. So as far as the CPU goes, if we pull up the Geekbench scores, the Snapdragon 855 is still very capable, as we're going to see here, but this A15 chip is newer and it should be slightly faster when opening applications. But as far as your gaming experience, we're going to see that it's actually exactly the same here. So yeah, so they pretty much identical in terms of speed. The Note 10, Samsung did a really good job with the software as far as the One UI updates and stuff like that to make this phone still feel snappy. As you can see, it even beat the iPhone opening up YouTube there. It's still an extremely fast phone, so don't let the age fool you on these phones. Yes, the iPhone is going to beat it in benchmarks and stuff like that, but in real life, these phones are pretty much on par with each other, both extremely smooth and scrolling and stuff like that. Almost pretty much no difference there. So when we get to a game like PUBG, you'll see that graphic performance I can't talk graphic performance is going to be pretty much identical as well here. And it looks like the Note 10 actually gets into PUBG slightly faster. No, the iPhone jumped ahead there. Alright, so let's go ahead and take a look. Here's your graphics settings. Pretty much the same, as you can see. Legitimately the same. which one gets in here first. And as far as gaming experience, you know, it's going to be pretty much the same because both phones don't have any type of high refresh rate. But I do have a gaming test. The Note 10 does an excellent job with gaming, guys. And I do mean a really good job. Fortnite, Call of Duty. Please check out that gaming test if you guys want to see that. But it's super smooth. Display is really beautiful. It's an awesome experience here. And I think the iPhone is loading up Arena, so it took longer. But the iPhone also very smooth, as you would expect from a flagship device. So gaming performance is going to be pretty much the same. Let's go ahead and compare these speakers. We do have stereo speakers on both of these guys. Alright, so off the bat, I noticed that the Note 10 was louder, but the iPhone still has a little bit more bass. And also, let's see, do we have Dolby Atmos turned on here? Yeah, we do. We can turn it off and see if you see a difference. Okay, there's the bass. Yeah, man, they're almost really close alike. I think the iPhone has a little bit more bass, but man, the Note 10 is just really loud. So it's way closer than I thought. So this is what I would say: the bass on the iPhone is a little bit louder, but the Note 10 overall is the louder speaker. So just so they both did such a great job. So are really awesome speakers. Alright, so let's go ahead and talk about the additional features. Of course, the standout thing with the Note 10 is going to be the stylus here. Just being able to draw and jot stuff down is always going to be a really fun experience here. I can't really draw, but yeah, so that is one thing that the Note 10 is really good with: digital artwork. Also just jotting notes down just to take your phone out, make a grocery list or something like that. Just really easy, really fun to do. They also have a really good coloring book application on here that's a really good time waster as well. But yeah, the Note is just a really good device if you are interested in, you know, the stylus thing. Also, you do have a under the display fingerprint sensor on the Note, and you can also take advantage of face unlock on here too. So with the iPhone, we do have only one option, and that is your face unlock here, which works very good. It's very accurate, so I don't have any complaints with it. There's no type of under the display fingerprint sensor though, which I really miss. But the iPhone, you already know what you're getting with iPhone. If you're into FaceTime and iMessage and all that stuff, you're already, you know, kind of leaning towards more of the iPhone anyway. But I think the Note 10 has like a little bit more features. The reverse wireless power sharing thing is also a really cool thing on the Note, where I can just charge pretty much anything that's compatible with wireless charging as well. And then you have other, you know, little cool features like secure folders and Samsung desktop support as well. Alright, let's go ahead and talk about image quality. So the Note 10 has a 12 megapixel standard, a 12 megapixel telephoto, and a 16 megapixel ultra wide. It shoots in 4K 30 or 60 FPS, and it's a 10 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K. And I had zero issues with the Note 10's image quality. It still takes very good photos to me, very good detail. You also get very good, you know, the classic sort of Samsung colors. It's very rich and vibrant and everything like that. The one thing it has over the 13 is it has the telephoto lens, so you do get that 3x zoom on here, or the 2x zoom, sorry. And yeah, so I really like the Note 10's cameras. I think it has aged really well here. The iPhone 13 does have awesome cameras as well. It's just a dual camera setup, a 12 megapixel standard and a 12 megapixel ultra wide, so no telephoto lens, 4K video at 30 or 60 FPS, and then a 12 megapixel selfie that shoots in 4K as well. You already know what you're getting with the iPhone: some very good flagship quality photos, very color accurate. Also very good detail. You get a really cool cinematic mode for the video as well, or you can think of it as portrait video. And yeah, the selfie cam is really good on the iPhone as well too. So zero complaints with both of the cameras on here. I think if you choose between either one, I think you'll be pretty happy with image quality. I do want to talk about the specs with the battery. So on the Note 10, you do have a 3,500 milliamp battery with 25-watt charging on here, and you also have wireless charging at 12 watts with that reverse wireless charging like we saw. With the 13, you have a 3,240 milliamp battery with 20-watt charging, and then you have your MagSafe wireless charging option along with your standard charging. So both of these phones do a great job with battery life. I'm able to get a full day's use out of both of these phones, so I don't really have an issue with battery life with these guys. So that is pretty much it, guys. Which one do you guys prefer, the Note 10 or the 13? Be sure to let me know, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.